Hi, I'm Cheryl Kagan, very proud to be the Senator for Gaithersburg and Rockville. Welcome to this week's edition of Kibbitzing with Kagan, brief conversations with people I find fascinating. I am so delighted to welcome Secretary Mollie Byron, who handles the governor's appointments. And so we're going to have a great conversation. Madam Secretary Mollie, thank you so much for taking time out from your busy schedule to chat today.
Thank you so much for having me, Senator Kagan. As you know, you're truly one of my favorites, and it's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. I have a million things I'm going to ask you about. But first off, I want to make sure that everybody knows the Byron name. And we're going to talk about that. But you are a Maryland native. You have lived here, studied here, worked here. You have had an extraordinary career, and you are still so young and just such a rock star. You were educated at GW with a career in human services and sociology, got your law degree at the David Clark School at the University of District of Columbia, and then have worked on not just at GW, but then the Office of Public Defender, Prince George's County, campaign work, and public service throughout. So, so you had two grandparents who served as members of Congress. Goodloe Byron, your grandpa, until he died, and then Beverly Byron, his wife, who succeeded him and served honorably for so long. So, talk about your grandparents and what you remember about them as members of Congress or community leaders.
Thank you, Senator Kagan. It's something that definitely has shaped who I am today as someone that's been fortunate enough to have a career in government. I was not able to really get to know my grandfather. He passed away suddenly, actually, while he was running on the Appalachian Trail, while he was running for reelection. And my grandmother stepped in for unexpectedly, had 24 hours to make a really tough decision and decided to step in and continue his legacy in Congress. I grew up with her being in Congress, was really fortunate. She was a super, I'm the first grandkid on that side. So spent a lot of time with her, going to her office. I am always meeting people who worked on the Hill during that time that are like, I remember you running around her office and you were this little and you ate all the maraschino cherries at a reception. And so just having that experience, getting to grow up, seeing her in a leadership role like that definitely um, made me grow up realizing that I could do, anything I wanted to. And
Love
and
that.
I was blessed to have her as a big part of my life until this year when she passed away.
Yeah.
So
So sorry for your loss. Was there a moment that kind of flicked the switch for you? Is there one quick story you want to share that really inspired your trajectory?
I would say that going to in 2010 when I graduated from law school,
Hmm.
we were in a deep in a recession, as you remember. There were no jobs for lawyers, and I was waiting for my bar exam results. And
Hmm.
I took a job on Governor Martin O'Malley's reelection campaign,
Yep.
and it really just gave me the political bug. And when we won that reelection and they offered me a position on his intergovernmental affairs team, I just could not resist. And ever since then, I've just had the public service bug and have been fortunate to be able to, serve in many different capacities.
Many different. Um, Talk about Martin O'Malley, our former governor who ran for president, and you were involved with his presidential campaign. Tell us one very quick O'Malley story for people who may not remember or just want to hear about it through you.
Wow, it's hard to just tell one because I
Okay.
definitely lived many lifetimes during those years I worked for him. So I would say that something that I always think about working for Governor O'Malley is that it was a total crash course in government. That is a man that read every single word in the briefings you wrote him, would be like, page 3, was this stat correct? So it really set me up for success because he was so meticulous about details. One quick story, I remember when Hurricane Sandy occurred, last minute. They asked if anyone was available to go down to Chrisfield to survey the damage with him.
Yeah.
And I am I always tell young people, just say yes. If you get an
Yeah.
opportunity like that, say
I love
yes.
that.
Even if you don't want to drive to Chrisfield with 3 hours notice.
Chrisfield,
Um,
the end of the earth. You
yes,
drive over the
yeah.
Bay Bridge and then you drive south until right before you hit the water. That's where Chrisfield is.
Yes, and I got a flat tire on my ride
Oh
and
no.
somehow was able to get my tire fixed because I got there so early.
Oh
But
my gosh.
stories like that are really how
Wow.
I see that it put me on a trajectory for success because I was always willing to do things that were outside of the scope of my job.
So I have to say, and this was not on my list of questions, but Martin O'Malley, because he was so data driven, is so data driven, city stat and then state stat, and he set up the first 311 system in the country. And now my top legislative priority is using artificial intelligence to create a statewide 311 system. And Maryland would be the first of its kind, the first state to go statewide, which is very cool. So
Yep, and
Martin
you
O'Malley was kind of the
and
father of
Governor
all that.
O'Malley understand how critical service delivery
Yes.
is for our residents. So, that great work, Senator Kagan.
We're still going. So you worked in local government. You kind of took a detour from campaign and state, and you worked for Prince George's County. In a way, you can help people more by being on the ground in a smaller jurisdiction, but in a way, you're helping a smaller jurisdiction rather than having a statewide reach. How did you see that? What were the challenges and opportunities for you in Prince George's County?
Well, I was fortunate enough to work for now Senator Also Brooks when she was county executive of
Yep.
Prince George's County. I
Yep.
live in Prince George's County. My husband and I have chosen to raise our children in Prince George's County. We really believe in the dream of Prince George's County. So to
Gorgeous Prince
have,
George's.
that's right.
Don't use the initials. It's amazing how many people still haven't heard that. Gorgeous Prince George's. Yes.
That's right, Senator Kagan. Politics 101. Do not call it PG. Yes.
No, I don't even say the letters. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Um,
so I really learned in that situation that the closer you are to the problems, the closer you are to the solutions.
love.
And that was just an incredible experience during COVID to work in my own local government for Senator Also Brooks and her incredible team.
Nice. So, shifting, updating here. So, like me, you were super early for a guy named Wes Moore, big supporter. I saw you on the campaign trail a lot. What did you see in this candidate in a 12-way race? How did you choose him?
Well, Senator Kagan, as you know, there is, in addition to being brilliant and having this incredible like biography and just all the things he has, when Senator Also Brooks and I met him on the campaign trail when she was beginning to try to figure out if she wanted to weigh in the governor's race.
Yeah.
There's a quality, an empathy, an ability to connect with the voters, with all Marylanders that Governor Moore has that I don't think I've ever experienced any human being having that ability. And I think that is, in addition to all the amazing qualities he has, that is his superpower.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. Agreed.
And we
So,
saw it. So,
100%. It's very exciting. So after the Moore-Miller administration was elected, you began as the Director of Intergovernmental Relations. Why don't you say briefly what that job is and what you accomplished there?
So the Intergovernmental Affairs team oversees all the relationships between the governor and our local government partners across the state. We have over 1,300 local government leaders across the state. It's a huge portfolio. It was an opportunity I absolutely could not resist. I love local government
Yeah.
people. I love how not political local government is. I knew even before I would say Governor Moore knew that he was going to really click with our local government partners.
Yes.
And I think it's something special that this administration has been able to build out that partnership with local government.
I love that. And just for anyone watching, when you think about local government, that's our 24 counties and our 157, or now maybe 161 municipalities, towns, and special taxing districts. So that's a big portfolio. But then you pivoted to the appointments office and you worked with a dynamo named Tisha Edwards, with whom I have already kibitzed. Viewers or listeners should check out my kibitz with her. She's amazing. So, what did you learn from former secretary now, Tisha Edwards, when you were launching? You had to find an entire cabinet and populate kind of his whole leadership team other than his personal staff. How did that go?
So I would say something that Secretary Edwards, previous Secretary Edwards, her part of her genius is she is a brilliant government operations person.
Hmm.
So she created a framework for us to be able to tackle those challenges. So in addition to the cabinet, we have over 1,700 appointees. She built the tools that allowed us to kind of operationalize all of those appointments so that we're able to do it with a relatively small team. So I would say that I learned a lot about government operations from Secretary Edwards. Slowing down. I'm a big like inbox zero, get everything
We're
done.
getting to that, but later,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I would just say like get also slowing down and being thoughtful about big decisions because I'm used to being a staffer and hustling all the
Yeah.
time.
How many people do you have on the team right now?
We have 8 people total, including
Yeah.
me.
Okay. So Wes Moore on the campaign trail, Governor Moore, talked all the time about the sign that is over your left shoulder, leave no one behind. So that is one of the ways that he sees people, and it's one of the ways he talks about diversity. And the Trump folks may say diversity, equity, and inclusion is no good and shouldn't be talked about, but in Maryland, we talk about it. So diversity on race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, geography, all the things. Talk about how you focus on that and how you accomplish that.
So, from an appointments perspective, the way we focus on it is that we are very deliberate about the amount of outreach we do all the time. My team is constantly working to bring new partners to the table. For instance, we have, as you know, we have all of these DNR fisheries boards
The
and
Department of Natural
oh,
Resources.
sorry, Department of Natural Resources boards that oversees like the fishing industry.
Mhm.
And as folks can imagine, those are boards that are not always very diverse and
Mhm.
historically have had the same people in those appointments.
Mhm.
My team will specifically go out and try to research new people that are coming to the field and be really thoughtful and intentional about diversifying those boards, but not just diversifying the boards, but bringing in the best and the
Yep.
brightest.
Yes, 100%. I have to tell you, so the fishing industry comes before my committee, and generally, they're older white men, but I tend to try to call them fisher people because I hate fisherman. And at some point, there were women out on the water too, but fisher people sounds ridiculous. But anyway, so you guys launched with an unbelievably impressive cabinet, pulled from all over. Secretary Edwards moved on and is working at the bankers. You've stepped up and not you've stepped up, the governor appointed you, and there's been a lot of turnover. And in a 4-year term, at some point, people move on to other opportunities and you bring in new energy. Is that harder or easier once you've already had those slots filled?
I think that I don't know that it's harder or easier. I would say that there is a tremendous, unfortunately, due to everything occurring in DC right now, there are incredibly talented Marylanders that are no longer in the federal government
Yes,
that are very interested in being working in our administration.
yes.
And I think that that is a true blessing if we're able to bring some of those incredible talents into the state of Maryland in leadership roles.
Amen. I love that. Let's talk about boards and commissions. We talked about the Fisher people. Give an idea of the number of boards and commissions we have in Maryland, the number of total humans, you said 1,700, and the range, the variety. If someone's watching this and they say, oh, I might like to serve, give an idea of what they might consider and where they can learn more.
So we have over 650 boards and commissions. Every year, our friends in the legislature bring new work groups, boards and commissions into my portfolio, and that's always fun learning about those and building those out over the summer.
Hmm.
We have over 1,700 appointees. I think based on my informal polling with other states, we are definitely one of the states that has the largest amount of boards, commissions, and appointees. So, and there is if you are watching this and you're interested in getting involved, I would be remiss if I did not make a pitch. There is a board or commission for everyone,
Yes.
everything from if you're into to sports, if you're passionate about the liquor industry, if you are a mortician, if you, so many environmental boards and commissions. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness, there is a opportunity for all of you.
Yes, 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 yes. So some of how you find people, you talked about how your team is out in the community. Some come from referrals from elected officials, community leaders, the governor's folks. Um, so the referrals must come fast and furious. How do you figure out? You can't make everybody happy all the time. Everyone wants to serve on the State Arts Council or something. So how do you take in all that data and process it?
The great news is I always feel like usually if there's a puzzle I need to solve in a place I need to place someone, that it may not be that the seat that they think that they are perfect for is the right spot for them, but there's another opportunity. So due to the amount of appointments that we have, there is usually another, if I get a referral, a good referral, which I get excellent referrals from our partners in the legislature, from our community leaders across the state, usually I'm able to find a place for someone somewhere else. And if they choose that they really had their heart set on X and Y is not the right thing, that's their choice. But the other thing is, while this year might not be the opportunity for you to be appointed to the State Arts Council, we may have an opening in 2 years.
Yes.
And the way that we've built out our portal, which I'll hope I get to mention later,
Yes.
um, my team tags you for future appointments that open up.
Perfect. What qualities are you seeking? I imagine there's some things that apply regardless of which board or commission you're looking to populate.
So first off, I'm looking for Marylanders.
Yes.
So that's important. I am looking for folks that are willing to serve, that are hardworking,
Mhm.
that are dedicated to the governor's values, that come with an open mind. And I think those are the intangible qualities that we look for anybody that wants to volunteer in government.
Love that. Okay. After you come up with the number of people that you want to put on all of these boards or commissions, they come to the Senate and the Executive Nominations Committee, many of them, not all. Some are sort of just go, but some appear in person and they're interviewed or asked questions about their background and stuff. What sort of extra level of preparation do you do? And obviously, infrequently, very infrequently, there's a challenge, but talk about the process if you would.
Well, the advice I give every appointee is that they should meet with their senator that represents them, because as you know, the senator that represents the appointee comes and introduces them in executive nominations.
Yep.
I think that that's a great opportunity. I think everyone should know their senator already.
Amen.
So I think what a great opportunity for them to get to know their senator, who will be introducing them and sharing more about their bio
Yes.
during the executive nominations hearing. Then I also just ask them to come with a clear head and calm and ready to answer questions. I find that those executive nomination hearings are very, a back and forth, your colleagues are really gracious and lovely with our appointees.
Yeah.
So
And generally, it's smooth sailing and non-controversial. And thank you for your willingness to serve. Have a nice day. And they go pretty smoothly, quickly. In an election year, do you expect anything to be different? Are you looking for anything different? Is it harder or easier?
I like to treat every year like an election year, and I think we should prepare every year like it's an election year. I would say that going into our appointments this legislative session, my team and I try to do everything up front so that those hearings are smooth. So just being prepared, appointing the best, most qualified people that will not have issues, any confirmation issues. That's really my goal so that we can always have a smooth legislative confirmation process.
Yes. So you referenced one of the many astonishing things, amazing things about you that it blows my mind, which is your empty inbox. I think you are extraordinary. Tell people what's a tip, what's a trick that they can do better with their own inbox, email
Mm.
inbox.
Well, I think I was heckled at our cabinet retreat for mentioning that I do this, but I think especially in the role I have,
Yeah.
it's critical to be extremely responsive to the outreach you get. I'm very lucky that am able to delegate a lot of the incoming I get out to my team.
Yes.
But I find that it's really important to make sure everyone knows that I'm accessible if they have any appointments, requests, or recommendations. I would say that just do it every night or every day before you leave the office. If you can try to allocate a chunk of your time, put it on the calendar to clean out your inbox. Use use to-do lists, do all the things. They don't have to be long emails, but it makes a huge difference.
It's astonishing. Um, I asked this of men too, and I asked it of the governor's new chief of staff, Lester Davis. So I think it's sexist if only women are asked. Can you talk about work-life balance? You have two adorable little people and stuff. How do you do it and make sure that you've got time for them and do such an amazing job in your role?
Well, I love talking about my kids, so I'm so glad you asked.
Of course.
Work-life balance is huge for me. I would say this sounds crazy, but I actually think I am much more productive now as a mom because I don't have time to worry about the other politics. There can be a lot of outside noise that can distract you. And for me, when I get into the office and sit down in this chair every day and get working, I don't have time for the outside distractions.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for me is just being focused on the task at hand, having tools like I mentioned, I'm an inbox zero person.
Yeah.
I have a huge village that also supports me. We live next to University of Maryland, so I get a lot of great babysitters from
Love that.
University of Maryland.
Yeah.
My in-laws, my mom, they all pitch in with my 5-year-old and 8-year-olds. And I'm making it work. It's messy, but I'm making it work.
It's amazing. All right, before we head to the Fast Five, why should people serve and where can they get more information?
People should serve especially our amazing state of Maryland, which is the greatest state in the country, uh,
Absolutely.
because it gives you an opportunity to explore other interests and passions. It gives you an opportunity to give back to our state. I think it gives you an opportunity to build out your resume, possibly if you want to do a career pivot.
Yes.
There are a zillion reasons to serve.
Love
I
that.
encourage everyone to check out our incredible appointments website. That is just, I could spend a whole hour talking about how amazing this website is. Has all the tools you need to apply and submit recommendations and see every single appointment we have in the state of Maryland. It's GOVAPPOINTMENTS.gov
Okay, go appointment.
govappointments.maryland.gov.
Okay.
Check it out.
We will also put that in the at the end of this. So, appointment secretary Mollie Byron, it is time for your fast five. Five quick questions, five quick answers. Here we go. Question number one. What is a hobby you do that keeps you grounded? Way separate from work.
Wow, not a lot of hobbies going on in my house right now, but I am an avid reader. I am an
Okay.
avid reader.
Okay, good. What was your favorite TV show as a child?
I love Lucy, Lucille Ball.
I love that. Okay. If you could travel anywhere in the world and neither time nor money were an object, where would you want to go?
Oh, these are good. I think I'd love to go to Bali
Me too.
alone with my husband.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Question number four. What is your tip for staying healthy and active? Exercise or dietary tips or anything?
Wow, this should have been my work-life balance spiel. So I'm big on closing my rings. You'll see my rings are already closed. Every morning I wake up and I do 30 minutes of Peloton exercises. So usually it's strength training right now because I'm getting older and I don't want to have osteoporosis, but that is a critical piece of my work-life balance is prioritizing movement every day.
Amazing. I love that. All right. The question you know is coming. The question I ask all of my guests. Secretary Mollie Byron, what is your hidden secret superpower? What's a skill or talent you have, something most folks can't do?
I would say my secret superpower is patience. I think I am an incredibly patient person. I think being a mom has taught me to be even more patient, but I think that has helped me deal with a lot of the challenges and all kinds of personalities that I encounter every day in this role.
Well, we are so lucky to have you at the helm. Thank you for your leadership, your thoughtfulness, and yes, your patience. And thank you for taking time to kibitz today.
Thank you, Senator Kagan. It's been a blast.
You're awesome. I'll see you soon. Stay
Yeah.
well.